What is up, RotoGrinders? We have an hour to knock out tonight's five-gamer in the association. Lots of nonsense going on, lots of injuries, lots of scratches. We'll talk about it in a second. Just 8 Grizz will be wearing uniforms tonight, taking on the Nets. So they can't do their 24-minute shenanigan. 240 divided by 8. Those 8 players at the average 30 minutes. It's just how math works. We also have the Jazz, who, man, the Jazz flu. It is never get the flu in Utah. It is an epidemic. It just wipes you. I mean, California a couple days later, you'll be fine. Kansas, fine. But Utah will just no. This is a warning to you. I guess you know better than me. If you catch the flu in Utah, you're done for multiple stints, multiple days. Are you feeling okay, Noto? How are you on a Monday night? You doing all right?
It's true, but there's one caveat. You have to play for the Jazz for it to affect you long term. Short term, everyone else is just fine. So yeah, doing good. What's up, chat? What's up, boys? Happy Monday. It's
even worse when you're playing against inferior basketball teams too. All of a sudden, now I feel even worse. Oh wait, it's the Warriors. What year is it? It's not 2020. Oh, okay. The Warriors stink. Yeah, I feel terrible. TJ, one of the greatest DFS players in all Saskatchewan, Canada. What's up, TJ? How are things? Happy Monday.
Things are good. Happy to be here, hanging out with you guys. Had a nice little sweat yesterday in the mini max. It looked like I had a chance of taking down first and second for a while. Then, of course, dropped down and was a profitable day, but nothing special. But it was still fun to have a little bit of a sweat. And then I was worried yesterday because here's some fun weather that we have going on in Saskatchewan. Yesterday it was like 36 degrees Fahrenheit. None of our snow has started melting, but it was also pouring rain. And so there was like puddles of rain with just a sheet of ice underneath. I was bringing in some groceries and did like the full cartoon wipeout. And yesterday my back was seizing up a bit, so I was worried about that. Today the back feels fine, but now the whole right side that I fell on is just in so much pain, and it wasn't yesterday. And so I'm just kind of feeling my body slowly fall apart piece by piece at a time. But hopefully we can have a big night to, help take the pain away, focus on something else.
If you were employed by the Jazz, you'd be done for the year. That would be it.
Yeah,
you'd go on IR.
Definitely not getting on the court for the Jazz anytime soon.
Yeah, or you see, they kicked the dude off the team. The guy actually has a legit injury, Williams, and they're like, "Yeah, you got an ACL, you're out." So, all right. I thought they might sign somebody, but oh no, wait, hold on, wait. Williams is am I getting my teams confused? No, that's Utah, right? Yeah. Williams is formerly on Memphis. I was getting confused there for a second, but yeah. 8 Grizzlies. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll go game by game. We'll circle back and we'll go position by position. Chat, hit that like button, do subscribe, turn on those notifications. It's an extended version of Crunch Time or a shortened version of Grinders Live, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, we're getting the best of both worlds in about an hour or so, 54 minutes to be precise. Really good basketball game tonight, the Denver and OKC. And there's a lot of value. There's plenty of value to get the Joker, plenty of value to get SGA. Currently questionable Chet Holmgren as well as some other pieces in that game, but that's important. The 7 o'clock game, Philadelphia is without basically all their starters. I think they're without all their starters. Yeah, unless Kelly Oubre. I guess Kelly Oubre is the last starter standing. We'll talk about that in a second. But TJ, you want to give me an overview as far as this slate? It feels kind of stars and scrubsy. Probably a couple pieces from Memphis, several pieces from Memphis. I'm curious what kind of rules you might have in play. But I know when you're playing up to the bell, it's a little bit trickier to run your 150. How are you attacking the slate tonight?
Still going to do it 150 lineups, and then I'm going to throw out a single entry lineup as well. I was only planning on doing a single entry earlier, but when I'm on the show and not having to produce or host, it just felt like a perfect opportunity to still play 150 anyway. And so my plan right now is just to be light on that first game. Now, there are a couple guards and wings on the Philadelphia side of things that I am still very interested in, but I don't really care about the Cavs at all. And from the 76er side of things, I probably just want to play one of those guys. So still going to be really easy, even if we don't get, this Jamal Murray news before lock says he's a game time decision. Hopefully that still means we can get it before lock because he'll start warming up. But if not, I feel like it's going to be easy enough to go light on that first game that it's not going to be hard to readjust my lineups and just get go from 50% to 80% Jokic, something like that if Murray happens to be out.
It's a 5-gamer. It's pretty well spread out. 7 o'clock Philly, Cleveland, 7:30 Denver, OKC, 7:30 Memphis, Brooklyn, but it's kind of like split 3-2 as far as a doubleheader. 9 o'clock Golden State, Utah. In the back half of the Peacock doubleheaders, New York and the Clippers. The front half is the good game of the night. They got the OKC game, OKC in Denver. Noto, you want to say anything as far as the slate big picture before we dive in, or shall we just dive on it?
Yeah, it's definitely a stars and scrubs type of slate for me. I was just playing around with lineup HQ. If you lock in the Joker and SGA, you can still make a pretty good team. So something I might want to check out throughout the show. But also like the Warriors a lot. I mean, they're missing a bunch of pieces. They don't project as well as Memphis, but man, matchup against the Jazz and missing a bunch of guys, I like that.
Yeah, they still have like 12 dudes, but
they have dudes, just they're missing good dudes.
Yes. Curry is back. Seth Curry is back tonight.
Yeah, that's sciatica.
Yeah. We don't know when we're going to see Steph next, but yeah, Seth Curry is available. Who knows how much run? Probably none. Well, I shouldn't say none, but minimal run for him. First game, let's talk about it. Philadelphia and Cleveland, 226.5 is a total. It's a scheduled blowout. It is the back half of a back-to-back for Cleveland. Cleveland getting the newly formed Celtics. Gave him a shellacking yesterday. Somehow Boston, they were dogs. They were 1-point dogs for whatever reason. Did they not realize how good Jason Tatum is? Okay, so Cleveland, 1 point. No, today they're facing Philadelphia or whatever's left of Philadelphia. So they are 14-point favorites today as far as the body parts, as far as who's in and who's out tonight. We mentioned Philly. Edgecombe's got that lumbar contusion, so he's not playing. He can't play. Embiid still has that oblique. He's not available. PG-13, league suspension. He's out. The big one, the new one, is Maxey. Maxey's got that finger. He's out tonight. Oubre is officially available with his knee. We're expecting Campaign to start. Not certain of that, but that's the expectations. Campaign, Grimes, Oubre, Barlow. Bona's kind of like taken over, and the hierarchy of terrible centers has taken over Drummond, it seems like. And as far as Cleveland, what about their injuries? Well, they're still without Jared Allen, but they still have plenty of size with Mobley, Wade, Merrill, Mitchell, and Harden. That is our expected 5. Anybody else? Yeah, D-Wade's officially in. Dean Wade, I should say, officially in with his ankle. Harden's good to go with his thumb. Yeah, you said something interesting, TJ, because what if this game is close? And if you're not running any lineup, because if the game is close, you kind of know who's keeping it close for Philly, and you got to figure one of Harden or Mitchell get there. And it sounds like the way you're attacking the slate is you're just like rooting for a blowout and get this game ugly, get this game over with. Nobody gets ceiling games, and then all of a sudden you're concentrating on your lineups, on what's remaining. Is that how you're going to play it out?
Well, I kind of disagree. It has to be that because, they're just all priced appropriately, and there are so many options on this team that, if Mobley has 40, Mitchell has 45, and Harden has 45, I don't really care about any of them. And that's I don't really know if we're likely to see a ceiling game from any of them with so many mouths to feed. We certainly could. James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, both capable of going off at any point. And if I did get to any of them, any Cavs, it would be one of those two. But I just kind of feel like they both soak each other's fantasy points up. And the ceilings they're still there, but they're not as likely to be hit when both of them are in the lineup.
What about the Phillies side, though? Because Oubre, if this game is close, Oubre probably has a big game. If it's not Oubre, it's going to be Grimes, I would imagine, or it's just a really low-scoring game.
Or it could be Campaign. And so I do this is where I do want to get some pieces of Philadelphia. I want to play probably just one of them, though. And so that's why it's going to be still really easy to adjust. I'm very interested in Oubre. I'm very interested in Grimes, and I'm interested in Cameron Payne as well. I kind of feel like Grimes should maybe be, in the 25% range, and Payne should be up another 5%. Not that I think our projections are wrong, but that's what I think they should be owned from an optimal standpoint. That's where I want to put them. And so very interested in those 3 for Philadelphia. I don't really care about anybody else. And I'm probably only going to play a max one of those guys, but I do like the idea of getting one of those guys.
No, how you attacking Philly, Cleveland, and again, that's somewhat important with Murray news at 7:30, and the other news still lurking. The Utah stuff, I don't know if we're going to get that at 7:30, but it would buy you an extra half hour if you're putting this game off to some degree. How you feeling about Philadelphia and Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, even if we weren't waiting on injury news, I still don't think I would have any exposure to this game in single entry. I have more interest in Philly side for sure. TJ mentioned you can play Campaign, Grimes. I'm okay with these guys, Oubre, but I don't know. I like Memphis better. I like Golden State better. And you're kind of locking up spots early, which I never like to do when we're waiting on injury news. So I don't love the Philly side. I'm kind of hoping for what you said, Dean, and that the game kind of turns into a blowout and nobody hits the ceiling game. Cleveland side is just tough. Yeah, there's a lot of mouths to feed there. So, Mobley's still on a minute restriction. So even with Allen out, I don't think he sees a huge boost. And yeah, it's hard to play Harden or Mitchell when they're both active. So for me, pretty much an easy stay away, and I'll focus my attention on the last 4 games.
I think Grimes and Oubre are a little bit tougher fades on FanDuel just because the way prices work. They're distinctly cheaper. Not distinctly cheaper, they are cheaper on FanDuel. Grimes 6'2", coming in at 39% ownership. Oubre is 6'3", coming in at 32% ownership. Those are both lower than DK. Mobley, I believe, also has a nice discount. He's 8'4" on DK, 7'8". And again, no Allen. I think Mobley's a pretty strong play on FanDuel, but I understand just kind of that there's a benefit to putting the game off and hoping the game gets a 20-point lead or something like that, middle of the third. And that's certainly something that could happen. Cleveland's certainly the more skilled team here. Okay. Anything else of note as far as Cleveland and Philly, or shall we scoot along?
Scooteroo.
All right. The next game, a little bit of if-then stuff. Again, we're not sure about Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray and his Denver Nuggets are taking on the Thunder. 232.5 is a total. The Thunder are 6.5-point favorites here. Denver, Murray, he's got that ankle. It seems pretty legit. He tends to play through stuff, but I think there's a decent chance he sits out, but I don't know. I'm not privy to the medicals. We do know that Peyton Watson is out. He's still out with that hamstring. As far as the Thunder, they're without several key pieces. The better Jalen Williams. I no longer want to say the good Jalen Williams because that implies the older Jalen Williams is not good. And I think he's still pretty good. He's just not as good as the older Jalen Williams. Who's very good. The very good Jalen Williams is not playing basketball tonight. Chet Holmgren was hanging out with the Jazz, so he's got the flu. He's currently questionable. The other big, Hartenstein, he's got a calf, so he cannot play. Caruso, he's got a hip, so he is unavailable. Worth noting that A.J. Mitchell is off the injury report, so he should be back tonight. Yeah, we have an if-then set up. I believe we have an if-then set up for the Thunder. Is it for 1 player or 2 players? Yeah, if Chet is out, SG is a pretty strong play, but Jalen Williams will get a nice little bump. I think he would project to be a pretty strong play. His minutes will be super secure with, who's going to be tasked with being thrown on Joker? I guess it would be Jalen Williams, I suppose. There's not much options otherwise if Holmgren does not go. Don't know how you feeling about Denver. Okay, so you kind of let the cat out of the bag there. Just play the 2 big studs, right? SGA and Joker, and just surround them with the Memphis nonsense.
Yeah, certainly viable. We did it like a week ago when I was on the show. Dean, you mentioned, hey, let's just lock in these 2 guys, see what we can do. And it worked well. So I like kind of doing that when you have 2 superstars playing, especially when they're missing other key pieces around them. So yeah, I don't mind that strategy one bit. I'm going to have at least one of Joker or SGA in each lineup. I might build 2 lineups tonight, get a little crazy on a Monday.
Feeling frisky.
Yeah. And then obviously we're going to have to watch the Jamal Murray news. I think if we get this after lock, I think just Jokic is just even better play because you get that built-in equity. And then if Holmgren's out, Jalen Williams, he's been on a tear recently. I know matchup against Jokic isn't exactly ideal, and there's some foul trouble concerns there, but I'll happily play Jalen Williams if he draws the start tonight. We could see some more run for sorry, mind blank there. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is just a good spot for the 2 superstars. Aaron Wiggins, geez, I don't know why I couldn't think of his name, but if he draws the start too, I think he could become very interesting. Like when he starts, he plays well, and when he doesn't, he tends to struggle. And that's kind of true if you look at his game log. So I like SGA, I like Jokic, and then the rest is probably going to just depend on what happens with these 2 injuries. But I think it's a good game environment, and I think it's going to stay competitive throughout. And even though Denver has a low team total, like Jokic is crushed against the Thunder in the past, and I don't think you have to worry about the matchup too much with him.
I would just add on the Murray thing. We're waiting for the Murray news. I think Murray, if he plays, is one of the worst point per hour plays in the slate. He's almost 10K on DK. He's 9-3 on FanDuel. He's facing a tough matchup here in the Thunder, and he's probably not 100%. And if he doesn't play, what's that?
He's 8-9 on DK.
Did I read that wrong? Oh, you know what? My eyes. He's 9-3. Okay, so yeah, he's 9-3 on FanDuel. My eyes are deceiving me. I still think he's too expensive, for the record. But And for tournaments, I suppose you can play him, but I still think he's a pretty bad play. But yes, I cannot read, apparently. The point is that I was getting to is that I don't think Murray's a great play. And if he doesn't play, the minutes are dispersed in a way where none of, Aaron Gordon's going to be in that minutes limit. Cam Johnson, Brown, that's Christian Brown, Bruce Brown. Strother would get a big minutes bump, but you're not going to play Strother, I don't think. Nobody really elevates to good play, and that's what our if then is showing. There's still only one positive value. If you kick Murray off the court, Joker becomes an exceptional play. He's already a phenomenal play. However you want to power rank those adjectives, he's just even stronger. He'll even get more, point Joker. The chances of him triple doubling are increasing. I don't. The point is, TJ, you tell me, if Murray's out, how are you reacting to that? Do you have Murray built in? You getting some Murray, and then we're gonna cut some off if we're gonna get excited about Brown or Gordon or Johnson or Hardaway? So I don't really see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get overly excited about any of the ancillary pieces, I don't think, but I would want to get even more Jokic than I do have. Right now, I'm getting, let me double check, 9% Murray, which honestly, when the chips fall, if we don't get that news before lock, I actually think that'll be overweight because I don't think he's going to reach this 12% if we don't get that news pre-lock. And so I'm perfectly fine with getting that amount of Jamal Murray in tournaments and then just hand adjusting those 18 lineups to maybe in those 18 lineups get a little heavier on Denver than I otherwise previously had been. But I currently don't have any Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown, Tim Hardaway, Bruce Brown, anybody like that in the pool. These guys are all kind of priced appropriately where I don't know how much better they'd get without Jamal Murray. Maybe Brown, Hardaway, and Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, and Tim Hardaway Jr. would maybe come into the conversation. But Christian Brown would probably be the only one I'd have any interest in. And even then it'd be yeah, he's all right, but I wouldn't be looking to flock to him. I currently have 50% Jokic, and if Murray's out, I'll get even more.
Yeah. How about the Thunder with Chet potentially out? How you handling that?
Same thought process with SGA is I have 50% right now. If Chet ends up getting out, I'm going to play him even heavier. I currently don't have any Chet, but if he does get ruled in pre-lock, maybe that's something that I mix into the pool a little bit. But at 8,700, I don't really think I want to get to Chet. I will become very, very interested in Jalen Williams if Chet happens to be out, though. So say we don't get that news before lock. I currently have about 20% Jalen Williams as it stands already. And then if Chet's going to be out, I'll do a rebuild and I'm going to try and make Jalen Williams one of my highest owned plays.
Yeah, I like that call. Our projection has a positive play for Jalen Williams. If we happen to lose Chet, we're projecting 28 minutes, about 32 DK, 32 FanDuel as a median projection. Positive play on both sites. The only other player on the Thunder that's a positive play, we talk about SGA. We talk about pairing SGA with Joker. Are you setting any rules, TJ, in your 150 as far as SGA and Joker? Minimum one. I know, obviously, Noto's doing it by hand. He can just put one or two in both his lineups. But anything you're sort of kind of going out of your way, or just kind of letting the projections, do its thing?
Yeah, just letting the projections do its thing. In my first build, I have 51% SGA, 50% Jokic. So I probably have the two of them together in a few, none of them in a couple. But for the most part, it's one in each.
All right.
I would probably have some interest in Isaiah Joe if Chet Holmgren gets ruled out. Last game, Joe ended up popping into the starting lineup, had a very solid game. He's one of their best perimeter shooters in these type of lineups. So I think I'd probably like Isaiah Joe if we get the Chet Holmgren out news.
Noto, who's your favorite Thunder player if we happen to lose Chet? I assume it's Jalen Williams. If it's not Jalen Williams, or who's your next guy in line?
Yeah, I want to see the starting lineup, but I like Aaron Wiggins quite a bit if he gets to start. But yeah, I think Jalen Williams is the obvious play.
Okay, let's keep on powering through. Again, we're going to knock out all 5 of these games. We're going to circle back game by game. Eventually, we want to put your questions or load up your questions. You guys hang out in chat. Load them up in the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. That's where questions are prioritized. We'll answer those before lock, obviously. If you write them in YouTube, we'll do our best to get them at the end of the show. Yeah, people in chat are asking about Movie Monday. I did not want it to, this is it's no fun, and you can't have any fun right now. We're trying to make lineups. We're scrambling. This is a no nonsense show, mostly no nonsense. So I didn't want to congest the slate up.
2 hours before lock, lots of time for nonsense. Hour before lock, not as much time for nonsense.
Yeah, I'm pro nonsense officially, but I just didn't. The people want us to give the news, I think, more than anything else.
Hey, speaking of nonsense, I need a movie from the '90s from you guys.
Oh yeah, TJ, we thought of this last time. We have to assign Noto a movie to watch every single week because he has got there's a big break of movies he has not seen for whatever reason. So maybe Chat can help us out as well. That's something that he would like. Let's not overwhelm him.
Remind me as soon as the show's done, and I got you with some options. I don't. Nothing's coming to my brain immediately because I'm in basketball mode. But right after the show, hit me with a reminder, and I got you guys.
We'll do it at lock. Yeah, 7:00. We'll do it again. That's more nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're taking on the Nets, 220.5. That's the total. The Grizz are 1.5 point favorites, by the way. Good Lord. How bad are you when the Grizz are favorites on your home court? It's going to be easier, like genuinely, it's easier just to tell you who's available for Memphis. And we're ruling out the doubtful guys like Ty Jerome and Hendricks are doubtful. Scottie Pippen's doubtful. Coward, he's too afraid to play. He's doubtful. So Grizzlies have Small, Wells, Rupert, Gigi, Gregory Jackson, OMP, Spencer, 2 Spencer brothers on the slate today, Clayton and Meshach, Jemai Meshach. So that is the Grizz that are available tonight. As far as Brooklyn, they just shut down Yegor Goman. They were telling him injury management, but that's it. He's done. He cannot play basketball the rest of the season. And Michael Porter Jr., he's exhausted. He's got a rest, so he's not playing basketball tonight. They still have 12 guys, but obviously there's some bumps going around. TJ, how much Grizz is too much Grizz? What kind of rules do you have in there? Because again, 8 players, 240 minutes. On average, they have to average 30 minutes per player. That's just how it goes. And if you look at our projections, I think 32 is the most somebody's getting and 26 is the least. They tend to be very, everybody gets an equal opportunity as far as being on the court. The Grizz do a very good job of that. We are giving 32 to Prosper and 26 to Meshach. So, how do you feel about the Grizz and how much Grizz is too much Grizz and what kind of rules do you have for me?
I have a max 4 on the Grizz, but I'm not actually putting any rules on individual players because I don't think there's a group of 4 or even 2, 3, 4 that I would not want to have together. There's only 2 big men. So while I'll be heavy on Omri Prosper, probably light on Gigi Jackson, at least that's what I was thinking earlier in the day. But now Gigi Jackson's ownership has dipped a little. And so I'll still probably be a little light on Gigi, heavy on Omri Prosper, but I'm comfortable playing both those bigs together. I'm comfortable playing, even if my lineup ended up being Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, Clayton Jr., and Rupert, that would probably be the only group of 4 that I wouldn't want to play together. But I'm going to be getting a ton of Prosper, a ton of Small, a ton of Cam Spencer, a fair amount of Wendell Clayton Jr. I will be a little underweight on Gigi Jackson and very underweight to Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells is the one piece that I feel like is bad chalk. He could play 40 minutes and just not do anything.
I think literally any of the 8 are playable or rosterable. That's just how it is. Again, we're giving the fewest minutes to Meshach at 26. There's certainly a chance for he grabs more. Noto, how are you feeling about Memphis? How much Memphis is too much Memphis? Brooklyn is also kind of sort of a tanking team, but they've not been nearly as egregious. In theory, this is an awesome matchup for Claxton. If he gets the projected 28 minutes, I think he smashes. There might be some chicanery, but, they haven't really done a heck of a lot. I was thinking about the idea of Claxton or Sharp in every lineup, one of those 2, because I think one of those 2 can really full on smash. I would say Claxton, Clowney, Sharp, one of those 3, if nothing else. I think one of those 3 gets home, if not 2 of them. How you feeling, Noto, as far as Memphis, Brooklyn? What do we currently have as far as Grizz? Do we have 3? Do we have 4? 5? 4?
I think if you lock in Jokic and just optimize, you get 5 Memphis and then Claxton 2. I don't feel great about that, but you got to think the bigs on Brooklyn are going to have a big game. They just don't have any bigs, Memphis. So I don't know. Claxton's a scary guy for me to play, especially if you look at his game log. But if he sees 30 minutes, you got to think he's going to have a big game. I like the idea of using, one of him or Sharp or Clowney in each lineup. because one of the three is going to have to, have a big game. So I don't mind that route whatsoever. It's maybe a 3 max, just use one of each. I think that's a pretty good idea. Memphis, you can play anybody. I want to see what their starting lineup looks like. They've started Rupert a couple times. They mix it up here and there. So I want to see what their lineup looks like. But my favorites right now, Prosper, Small, then Jackson, then Cam Spencer, then probably Clayton. But I mean, I'm fine with Wells. And then the other two kind of just like the lower owned options that could go off and could be difference makers in tournaments.
Yeah, I have a list of movies ready for Noto as soon as we are post lock.
All right. The chat was helping out too. Somebody said Shawshank. No, I don't want to be presumptuous. I assume like even accidentally at some point you saw Shawshank, right?
I have not. I know he like grinds his way.
That's
he gets out of prison with the.
Well, I mean,
I know what happened, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that hasn't seen it. So building myself. I do want to. That one is on my list though of movies to watch.
Yeah.
The thing is once I get all the kids to bed and work for like an hour, like I get like 15 minutes before bedtime. So it might take me a week or two to watch these movies.
I made a list of different genres and like different vibes just because you're not always ready for a Shawshank Redemption or something like that heavy at all times. You know what I mean? So I got different options.
Yeah, and the chat's like throwing out like Boogie Nights. I don't think you're ready for Boogie Nights. Great movie, but I don't want to start you at Boogie Nights.
Okay.
Okay.
That's on the list.
It's incredible. Small, Wells, Repair, Gigi Jackson, OMP. That's our projected starting 5 for Memphis, what it's worth. I don't know what other analysis we can give as far as Memphis. I feel like you have to have at least one. I think even one is probably not enough of Memphis players, again, just because it's a math problem. Anything else you want to say here, TJ, as far as Memphis and Brooklyn before we talk about the Warriors and the Jazz?
No, I think we mostly hit it. Just I'll kind of reaffirm I like everybody in this game, but Jalen Wells is probably the one at that ownership I'd be looking to fade.
Warriors, Jazz, 223.5 is the total. The Warriors are 7-point favorites in Utah. Again, we talked about
out, Jamal Murray in.
That's not good for my underdog teams. I went the other way on that. I don't have a lot of Murray. I'm tilted over here. Jalen Williams, by the way.
Everybody, he's such a bad play.
Yeah, 10K.
Yeah. I just didn't think he was going to play, but I was wrong. He always plays, right? He just always plays for everything. I still don't think he's a great play, but yeah. Jalen Williams, I think, is going to be really strong now once we rework stuff we were talking about. How his projection looks pretty good. And now we get all the news. Not exactly, because we have Utah. Some questionable pieces, Ace Bailey, Isaiah Collier, they're both ruled out. They had the fish. Keontae George is the only point guard left. You look at this roster, and it's like, who would be the point guard if Keontae George doesn't play? I mean, they cut Williams. Williams is gone. He also had an ACL. He couldn't play anyway, but there's like no ball handlers left. But I guess I'll figure that out when we get there. In theory, like if they let him play, he's a really strong play because, who else has got the ball in their hands on this Utah team? Yeah, Vince Williams is the guy who tore his ACL, and then they said they told him to get lost. As far as Golden State, Moody's out with that wrist. Porzingis back with the illness. Steph Curry's out. Again, Seth is back for what it's worth. Al Horford's out with a toe. Yeah, TJ, Keontae George, if they let him go, and it's the other part. Other thing is, if they're winning accidentally, does he get pulled? Does he get rug pulled? What happens if Keontae George doesn't play? Like, who is the ball handler? Let me ask this to Noto, actually, because I'm sure Noto's watching his Jazz nightly. Who's the point guard? Who handles the ball for Utah? John Conchar? I don't know who it is.
I don't even watch Jazz games if I'm at the game. I'm getting dinner and free snacks. I'm not watching the game. So yeah, we have EJ Harkless listed as a point guard. I don't know much about his game, to be honest. Though.
I don't think of him that way, but okay, maybe. Yeah. I mean, do you think they let George play tonight? They haven't ruled him out. They've let other players. Why haven't they ruled him out too? They just kind of like, stringing it out for no particular reason, or is there do you think there's a legit chance he plays?
I assume Collier and George were both listed as questionable earlier in the day because one was going to play, one wasn't. Collier felt a little more under the weather or had a reason to miss. And so they went, okay, Collier, you sit, and I think George is going to play.
Okay. And if he plays, it's it's so stupid. We're supposed to give like basketball analysis, but the analysis is like, how many minutes will he allow him to play? Is he playing too good? Will he get taken out of the game? But this is where we're at. Are you playing a fair bit of George, TJ? Because, in theory, he could play like 35 minutes. I don't think he can. I don't think they will. They'll let him.
No,
what if he's actually not feeling
30.
great?
They seem to cap him at 30. That seems to be where he's done. Like, that is kind of at least semi-consistent about what the Jazz are doing, as long as it's a reasonably not insane blowout and Keontae George is in, they give him 29 minutes and they give him 30 minutes. Like, that seems pretty locked in. So I think he's fine. I don't think he's a must-play guy by any means, even if he's in there. But if you are running out a lineup with like 3 Golden State Warriors players, say you're playing Pods, Melton, and Santos, something like that, then I do think it's probably wise to run it back with the Keontae George. I don't think you have to, because the Jazz are so prone to getting blown out. But that would be the situation in which I would play George, and I'll probably end up having like 20%.
They do have 11 guys for what it's worth. It would go down to 10 if they have George. I should have mentioned, I failed to mention that Golden State ruled out Will Richard. So, yeah, we're expecting Spencer, Pods, Melton, Guy Santos, and Green to start for the Warriors.
All the doubtful guys from Memphis officially getting ruled out right now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I didn't see that, but yeah, so they're officially down to 8, correct? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Pippen, Hendricks, Coward, Jerome. Yep. All went bye-bye. How do you feel about the Warriors and the Jazz? Filipowski also is another guy that can play really, really well. He's not great defensively, where I think that kind of keeps him on the court. He'll give it up. He's not great for actually winning, but he's good for fantasy, if that makes sense. This also feels like a really good spot for Pods, although the price is baked up, but I think he can certainly thrive in this atmosphere. What do you got as far as the Warriors and the Jazz, Dono?
Yeah, I love the Warriors tonight. Nobody's projected for more than 23% ownership right now, and they got the best matchup on the board. They're also missing their key players, so I like Anthony Melton quite a bit. Played a season high 29 minutes his last game. Hasn't played in 4 days, so should be well rested, and he's been showing some upside, 37, 40, 44 in his last 5 games. So I think he's an interesting tournament play. You mentioned Pods. I like him quite a bit. Santos is always viable. He's been playing great recently. So I like a lot of the Warriors that aren't named Draymond Green. Then on Jazz, I just don't know. I mean, Sensabaugh is kind of projecting really well, but is he going to get the minutes? Anytime I think he's going to play more, he just still gets his 24 minutes. And if you look at his game, he's less than 24 in 4 straight games. I don't know. And then Keontae George can get there in 30 minutes, but he could also not. So I don't know.
Our biggest bump, by the way, if we happen to lose George, is Sensabaugh. Our if then was like if Bailey and George are out. Well, Bailey's already out. Half of that's already done. If George is out, Sensabaugh would project with 31 minutes, 36 DK, 34 FanDuel. So he would project really, really, really strong. So that is something to keep in mind there for Utah. I'm trying to see if there's you mentioned something that I kind of focus on as well. Draymond, I know he's just not a good fantasy accumulator these days, and when he's going to be reasonably popular, which is probably maybe 15, 20%, depending on. Somebody in chat pointed this out. This is what I want to point out. Boney is saying, I don't know if you guys, if you watch the shows, Chop, his least favorite player, if you're to power rank is, most hated players in the league, he hates Pods for whatever reason. I don't know Pods that's on. Well, Dylan Brooks, he hates them both. I don't know who he would say if they're both falling off the cliff at the same time, but despite that, this matchup is so good that Chop tagged Pods tonight. He put his hate aside for one night, and that's how good the matchup is for Pods. Really, really strong play. The price is baked up, but you guys talk about how good the matchup is. Are we leaving a light on for Sensabaugh, for Keontae George, TJ, as far as your matchups?
Yeah, lights on. Lights on. I have him in my pool right now. Like I said before, I'd want to probably pair him with at least 3 Warriors if I was playing him, and I'm going to get about 20%. But definitely leaving Keontae George in the pool. My highest owned player from this game will certainly be Pods. I'm getting to about I just have my new set of lineups coming in right now, and I have 30% Pods. That is my highest owned play from this game, but Quentin Post, Pat Spencer, DeAnthony Melton, going to be getting a lot of all of those guys. Not playing near as much of Utah on the other side. I'll get to a little bit of Sensabaugh, a little bit of Blake Hinson as a full-out punt at only $3,400, but nowhere near as much Utah as I am getting Golden State.
Does it make your life a little bit easier, TJ, as far as late swap stuff? If you cap George and Sensabaugh at 1, is that something you've considered?
I didn't actually include George in that, but I capped. Let me just double check here. Sensabaugh, Cody Williams, Blake Hinson at 1.
Yeah, okay. Because I was thinking if George is in, Sensabaugh is fine. He's perfectly fine. He's actually a pretty solid play, but
I just kind of viewed George on his own because he's just a way better player than the rest of those guys. And so, but I only wanted to have one of the wings.
Let's knock out the last game. New York taking on the Clippers. 220.5 is the total. New York is a slight favorite here on the road. 2-point favorite in LA. New York very healthy. Well, they're without Mitch Robb because this is the back half of a back-to-back, and he does not play the second legs of back or the front, depending on how they set it up. McBride is still out for New York. The Clippers, nothing new, right? Yannick Niederhauser is still out for the season. John Collins still dealing with that neck. No, talk to me about New York and the Clippers. I feel like this game is somewhat lost on this slate, but there are certainly some spend ups that are worth some attention. Kawhi, Cat. I know he's been scuffling of late, but Brunson certainly could break out at any moment. How do you feel about New York and the Clippers?
Yeah, if we somehow get a blowout or just something wonky happens in the Denver OKC game and the two studs don't get there, like this is going to be the game you're going to want to have exposure to. So, yeah, I like Kawhi Leonard quite a bit in tournaments. He's been, not as high of a ceiling recently, but the usage rate should be there. We do have Garland back tonight, but I still think he's an interesting option. And then on the other side, I prefer Cat over Brunson. Anytime Mitch Robinson's out, he sees a big boost. He averages 8 more fantasy points per game with Robinson out than he does with Robinson active. So I think he's interesting. I never worry about a matchup against Brook Lopez and that crew. So, yeah, I like Cat. I like Leonard. Neither are making my lineup at the moment, but those are my favorite plays from the game.
TJ?
I'm going to bump up Towns a little bit now because I wasn't getting to very much of him, but definitely the guy that I like the most from this game is Kawhi Leonard. Still only getting to about 10% of him, though. I'm going to try and bump that up to maybe 15% Kawhi, 15% Cat, and then still probably only about 5% Brunson. I do have OG Anunoby in the pool as well, just because he doesn't always, like, his spike games kind of feel unprojectable. Like, he just randomly has games where he's either hot from 3 or racks up 5-6 stocks. And so I do have him in the pool as like a 5% guy in 150 lineups, but not somebody I'm actively targeting. Just did a new run so that now I'm getting 11% Towns. Yeah, it's kind of tough to get much of this.
Shut up. Yeah. Well, what's your Joker number? Like 60, 70%? Something?
Yeah, that's why. Because I adjusted it now since we got the Jamal Murray and Chet Holmgren news. I have 59% SGA, 47% Jokic in my most recent run.
I want to give the people time to adjust to your plums. So tell me, TJ, who is your plums play of the night?
I'm going to go with up top as like the non-sneaky. Who do I think you're going to need tonight? I think it's going to be SGA. But down low for a sneakier guy that I don't think is going to go super duper low owned, but I think he's going to be the value play that you're going to want to have from OKC. I'm going to go Isaiah Joe.
No, give me the plums play, and also give me your favorite Grizzly.
Yeah, so I will go DeAnthony Melton as my plums play. He's been playing more minutes. Great match against Utah. Should have a pretty high usage rate. And then my favorite Grizzlies, I mean, it's got to be Prosper, but I can get down with Jackson or Small too.
TJ,
you want to run off your Grizzly ownership stuff? You have that ready to go?
Yes, sir. 71% Prosper, 52% Cam Spencer, 50% Javon Small, 33% Wendell Clayton Jr., 19% Gigi Jackson, 15% Ray and Rupert, and 10% Jalen Wells.
All right, again, throw your questions in the Discord. I want to go quickly position by position. We're going to condense it, DK and FanDuel. Feel free to be specific if certain plays are better, distinctly worse on DK or FanDuel. We're going to start with point guard, TJ. Favorite point guards tonight?
Yeah, top point guards tonight for me. I'm going to be very heavily targeting SGA. He's going to be in 60% of my lineups. Love him on both sites as my primary spend up. If you can get Jokic and SGA together, great. But on both FanDuel and DraftKings, I will prioritize SGA. On DraftKings, I'll probably be a little light on on Quentin Grimes. I only have about 20%. The field's going to have quite a bit more. I am getting to more Cameron Payne on the other side, just kind of as a pivot for the same team, get a little bit of leverage. On FanDuel, I wouldn't be as light on Grimes. He's cheaper over there, and I think he's a really, really great play. I'm playing a lot of pods, playing some Nolan Trayor, playing some Pat Spencer as well, and then I'll get a touch of Keontae George, Jamal Murray, Jalen Brunson, just in case one of the studs has a big day.
No, not just point guard, but shooting guard, please.
Yeah, TJ mentioned Traore. Like, he's a guy that I think could be interesting. We didn't really talk about him on the Brooklyn side, but it's a really good matchup. Finally, again, this should be competitive for Brooklyn, so I like that call. SGA, if you can spend up. I like Javon Small quite a bit. I like D'Anthony Melton on FanDuel. He's not point guard eligible on DraftKings. But other guys, pods, obviously gets the chop tag. That's got to mean something tonight. And then if you're waiting on Keontae George, I think EJ Harkless could be interesting. Like, he should see 30 minutes regardless, even if that game turns into a blowout. So I don't mind keeping the light on for him or Sensabaugh. The shooting guard, you have Quentin Grimes. I like him more on FanDuel than I do on DraftKings. But he is still viable. Cam Spencer, you got all the Memphis guys, Clayton. Then you have Pods and Melton here as well. And then, man, I don't think anybody's going to play Campaign. And he could be sneaky for sure.
Yeah, we're projecting him to start, but the minutes are kind of like
he's announced as a starter.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess the lineup is out, right? That might change. Is there minutes going to change from? We'll see. I wasn't sure if there's a bit of a hedge. Yeah, Payne, Grimes, Oubre, Barlow, Bona taking on Harden, Mitchell, Merrill, Wade, and Mobley. All right. TJ, I need shooting guard and small forward, please.
Going very Grizzly heavy here. Cam Spencer, Walter Clayton Jr. I called him Wendell before I meant Walter. I kind of combined Wendell Carter, Walter Clayton. You can play Cameron Payne here as well. Same with pods. I mentioned Isaiah Joe as my sneaky plums play. I don't think he's going to get steamed up, and I do think he's got a lot of upside there at only below 5K on both sites. I like Noto's Melton call, and then, like I said, on FanDuel, I like the idea of playing lots of 76ers. On DK, I'll be underweight.
New optimals, by the way, are loving Jalen Williams. The stuff that I'm running, he's like the third or fourth most popular player as far as hitting my lineup. So, yeah, looks really, really good in the absence of Chet. All right, Noto, talk to me about all the forwards.
Yeah, you mentioned Jalen Williams. I think he's one of the better point per dollar options on the board now. Also, Prosper. Both of them are power forwards, but I think they're both strong options. Small forward, not as strong as power forward, but you have Jalen Wells, you have Cam Spencer, you have Sensabaugh. I think any of them are fine options tonight. You also have D'Anthony Melton, who is my plums play of the slate. And then let's see if there's anything else on FanDuel. I do like Gigi Jackson, Santos. Like, we have him projected for 45% ownership on FanDuel. So he's a guy that a lot of people are going to play, and we didn't talk him up too much, but he's been playing really well. Good matchup against the Jazz. That's pretty much it for me. If you want to get real different, you can play Rupert on Memphis. I don't think anybody's going to play him.
Yeah, we're giving 32 minutes to Guy Santos. They just paid him a little bit, so I think he signed up for like 3 years or so. In the matchup against Utah, projected 30-plus minutes. I know the price is bumped up, but it's been justified and probably not going to be a complete hiccup. And Will Richard also out. Certainly doesn't hurt him. TJ, I need power forward and center.
Prosper, Jalen Williams, two guys that you're going to need in cash games on both sites. Both great tournament plays as well. I have about 70% Prosper, 40% Jalen Williams. Should probably even that out a little bit since I view them as similar plays, but might not have time to do that now. Those are the top two. I like some Danny Wolf or Blake Hinson as cheap pivots off of them. Getting some Kenrich Williams as well as another potential cheap pivot. And then 47% Jokic. If I'm not playing Prosper and Jalen Williams at the center position, I'm either going up to Jokic, going down to Quentin Post, or my favorite sneaky mid-range play is Daron Sharp. Everybody's going to Nick Claxton today. We haven't really seen Nick Claxton hit too many ceiling games recently. He does it sometimes. Yes, it's a great spot, but I don't really trust Nick Claxton at 30-40% ownership. And so I'm pivoting to Daron Sharp, who I think is a really nice pivot off of him.
Yeah, Sharp would have been my plums play if I was asking myself the question. But I think again, I like the idea, like the rule of at least one of Claxton, Sharp, and Clowney. This Memphis team is so bad at rebounding. OMP is 6'7". I think GG Jackson's 6'9", but like it's a really, really small team, super undersized. Questions. Again, get your questions in that Discord channel, rotogrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel. Those questions are prioritized. Also, if you have a question about Spencer, tell me which Spencer. Just anticipating that question because there's a Pat Spencer and there's his brother. There's Cam Spencer. Tell us which one you're asking about. No. Talking about centers.
For me, it's Jokic at center, and then I'm also playing Prosper and Jalen Williams. Then I don't mind Quentin Post, but I'm probably not going to get to him tonight. I think the Memphis guys are a little bit better for single entry stuff. I do like the Day'Ron Sharp call. Are we worried Brooklyn just plays small to match up with Memphis, or do they just keep their bigs out there and get all the rebounds?
They might, but you might get some like Wolf at the 5, possibly. Like that can certainly be something that happens. And I'm just also kind of worried they want to lose this game. They had a terrible victory the other day, right? Who'd they come back on? Was Detroit? That was demoralizing. That was devastating. That really killed them in the tankathon. So I think that was, weren't they down big against somebody making this up? I feel like that's the game that happened. They beat somebody pretty good. Yeah, just a little bit. They like to take the L, but it's tough with what Memphis is rolling out. They are slight favorites tonight, so they might just have to suck it up and take the W. Okay, questions in the chat, boys. Let's see who's coming here first. Yeah, Jay Mannon's asking Movie Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll Television Tuesday. We'll fire something off. We'll give away some.
Today's Movie Monday is Stay After Lock, and we're recommending movies to Noto.
There you go. No premium though. Sorry. TJ, Rob G's got a question for you. DK tournaments. It's a 2v2. You like GG Jackson and Jalen Williams or Claxton and Santos?
First one by a lot.
All right. Shout out Ramazan, who gave a bunch of movies to recommend. And actually, it's a really solid list on my scan. I like pretty much everyone he put there. Noto, D-Rock, DK tournaments, 2v2. Cat, Cam Spencer. Thank you, D-Rock. Cat and Cam Spencer versus Kawhi and Post.
Ooh, that's tough. I like the first combo, and I'm like 97% sure one of my sons is in the chat spamming with the 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
Really?
No, but they say it all day long. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, I said OMP 6'7", and there you go. I didn't realize what I was doing. Nice catch though. Okay. More questions coming on through. TJ, what are you doing? Flores Mark is asking about campaign on DK. Can you just give us the number? What percent do you have right now currently of campaign?
I can give you the number. I have 21%. Probably too much.
I think that's about right, isn't it? What's the current projection? Is that kind of what we
10%.
projected for? Okay.
Projection 10%.
You didn't love that first game, though. Heck of a lot. Yeah. Can you just tell me, since we're here, can you tell me Grimes and Oubre? I felt like you were under on those, just that game in general.
Yeah, 19% Grimes, 9% Oubre, max one of the three of them.
Okay. Yeah. So you're rooting for a blowout. You're rooting for ugliness. You want pain for Philadelphia, it sounds like. Okay.
I also kind of feel like he might play into a blowout.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Tyrese Martin, but like they don't have a ton of other ball handlers. It's not like he's needed to play a bunch of big minutes in a normal situation. He's like, I don't think plays like until
Kyle
the end
Lowry.
of the game, but I think he's the last guy pulled in a blowout.
Yeah, but Kyle Lowry might mop up somewhat. I don't know how much they would play him, but yeah, Jabari Walker is the guy that can get like some blowout run as well. If you're just sort of trying to think of that angle, he's not cheap though. He's 4'4". Not that that's expensive, you know what I mean. Okay, back to the
recently too.
Yeah. Let's see. This is for Noto. Coleman wants to know large field DK tournaments 1v1. Meshack or Harkless? Meshack or Harkless?
Keep the light on for Harkless. Yeah.
TJ Peterman's got the late night hammer. Is it Brunson or Towns?
Towns.
All right, question for Noto. I'm playing SGA and Joker one lineup. I'm getting Seraph as value. Thoughts on DK tournaments for Brooklyn? I feel like you can do better than that. Am I wrong in saying that?
Better. If you get Post in there with those two, it becomes a lot easier, and then you can just play a bunch of Memphis guys.
I don't know if he's a super restricted as far as salary. Seraph is $3K. We're currently projecting him for 18 minutes and like 14 median. I just feel like it's not that much more to get to one of the 4K guys on Memphis. I don't know. I'm not really sure how restricted you are, but
I have 150 lineups and 0 Seraph for what it's worth.
There you go. Okay. Moving along here. DK Cash. Rhino wants to know must play plays on DK Cash, TJ. I mean, I think it's OMP. I think it's Jalen Williams. Definitely one of SGA and Joker, and I'd probably play them both.
Small, Prosper, one of Jokic or SGA, for sure. Like, and honestly, I don't really think it matters too much which of them that you pick. I would also say Jalen Williams is now in that tier. Cam Spencer. And that would probably be it for must plays. So if you go Small, Spencer, Jalen Williams, Prosper, one of SGA or Jokic, potentially both, but that is kind of hard. Because that just leaves you 3K remaining per player. And so you pick one of them, and then that leaves you 2 spots left.
Noto Allen's Club wants to know your favorite OKC player besides SGA on DK.
Definitely Williams.
Yes. Mr. Knapp 21. DK single entry here, TJ. Pick one. Single entry. Cam Spencer, Isaiah Joe, or Clayton.
Cam Spencer is the best option, but if you're needing a place to get different, I would do it with Isaiah Joe.
Alexander the Don, 6K left for utility and DK cash. So pick Claxton, Sensabaugh, or Grimes. I think Grimes projects the best, right? No, I'm fairly certain. Grimes, Sensabaugh, or Claxton for cash. We're talking cash.
It'd be Grimes or Melton if they don't already have Jalen Williams. It's for sure Jalen Williams if they don't have him, but otherwise it's between Grimes and Melton.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Noto Blake 182 wants to know about your thoughts on Zaire Williams for large field DK. We do get the last 3 games, Zaire. Oh, yeah. Which Zaire are we going to get? Some volatility there. How do you feel about Zaire Williams tonight? Is he somebody you've considered? I guess I should probably ask TJ how much Zaire he's got in his 150.
Yeah, first off, nice to see Blink 182 playing some DFS. Big fan of your work. But yeah, I think he's fine, but not a guy that I'm getting to.
What do you got, TJ? What's your ownership percentage?
For who, sorry?
For Zaire Williams. Is he in your pool? Well, there you go. Carolina guy. This is for TJ. FanDuel single entry, 5,300 left, small forward. Small forward on FanDuel, 5,300 left. What do you got for me?
I don't like Jalen Wells, but I do think that's the guy. Actually, Danny Wolf.
No. Beaner wants to know Cam Johnson or Walker for FanDuel tournaments. I think that might be Walker. I haven't thought about that, but Walker versus Cam Johnson.
I mean, I think you can do better elsewhere, but I will go Walker.
Our projections are pretty identical. A slight lean to Walker as far as our median projections. Still in the Discord channel, we're going to answer as many questions as possible. And the YouTube producer Steve's going to throw his questions on the screen here in just a second, but I do want to finish with these questions in the Discord. Noto, Rob G wants to know DK tournaments. Jalen Williams, Clayton versus Claxton and Cam Spencer.
Oh, easily number 1 for me.
TJ, Mr. Knapp, do you like Brown? Christian Brown tonight with Murray out. Well, Murray's not out. Murray's in, right? Unless I missed something?
Murray's
something
in.
Happened? Okay, and that question was just typed. But yeah, Murray is in. All right. Questions in the YouTube. I'm going to do our best to answer as many possible here before we step aside.
Last more question from Alan's Club in Discord. It was 4,700 or less guard on DK. No, sorry, didn't even say guard, just 4,700 or less on DK. I would say Wendell Clayton Jr.
Luke Cage, last piece, DK tournaments, Noto.
Walter Clayton Jr.
it's Melton or Jalen Williams. Like Melton or Jalen Williams, Noto, as far as the last piece in DK tournaments.
Oh, man, the Plums play versus probably my favorite point per dollar play. I'll go Jalen, but I like them both.
If you had to fade one, you got to fade one, Joker or SGA. Who you fading?
SGA.
Darren in the YouTube FanDuel tournaments, TJ Wells. Let's see, FanDuel tournament. Oh, Joe and Wells versus Zaire Williams and Clayton.
Joe and Wells.
Sharp or Prosper on DK, Noto?
I'm going Prosper for sure.
Okay. Okay, Guy Santos versus Gigi Jackson for Mikey Smokes 420, TJ.
If you already have three Memphis players, go Santos. If you have 2 or less, go Gigi Jackson.
Chris says, do y'all think AJ Mitchell will play enough to be worth a FanDuel? He's 3.9. What is our projection for him? It's probably, he hasn't played in a bit. Do you guys have any? We're giving 21 minutes to him. 20 FanDuel points to the median projection is not terrible. It's just not that much more for like the more secure Memphis guys. You have any thoughts on that, TJ? Have you considered Mitchell?
I would do whatever you could to get up to like a Pat Spencer or Nolan Traore, but if you can't at only 3,900, I've done stupider things before. Like I don't think he's got much of a ceiling, but I do think if he plays 18 or more minutes, he probably at least 5Xs for you.
D Mills wants to know thoughts on Wiggins. You liked him. You're talking about him as a potential player, right, Noto?
Yeah, I want to see if he starts because right now we have Isaiah Joe projected to start, but I think he's interesting if he starts.
We're going to be hitting lock here any second now. We're going to stick around a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit of movies. We'll help Noto out. And if any questions come on through that are unrelated to the first game, Philadelphia-Cleveland, we'll try and answer those as well. And we should be getting that OKC lineup in theory right about now because technically speaking, they usually drop about a half hour before the game starts. We're doing air quotes here. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions in the chat that I see that are unrelated to Philadelphia and Cleveland. It's a lot of Memphis.
Tim Parrish in Discord said thoughts on Diawara on DraftKings. I suggested to go Theo Hinson instead for 100 less.
Yeah. I mean, Diawara kind of needs some injuries.
Hinson. Why do I keep butchering these first names today? Who's Theo?
I mean, you shouldn't know who Blake Hinson is, to be fair. Like, it's just like most people don't know. But yeah.
Just Googled Theo Hinson. Like, that's not even a real person.
There was a Theo Pinson. It was a really tall guy that played for the Pistons. Remember Theo?
That must be it. That must be it.
Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, that must be it.
Look, there. That's what the producer Steve is telling. He's reminding us about Theo Pinson. I believe was a lottery pick at some point, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no longer in the league. Is there any more questions here hanging out in the Discord? George or Murray? No, George or Murray. Well, I mean, like we know Murray's playing for FanDuel tournaments, but I also don't think it's like the greatest matchup necessarily. And if George goes, if you give me 30 minutes of him controlling the offense, and you can't guarantee those 30 minutes because it's Utah, how do you feel about George versus Murray?
Yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well. I probably prefer George.
TJ, top core plays on FanDuel tournaments. You want anything? Who are your core? Well, I know you're concentrating on DK, but you can transcribe it. I think
I would agree completely with the core plays. Noto's got tagged for FanDuel with Jalen Williams, Javon Small, and Prosper. However, I personally would go SGA instead of Nikola Jokic just because I like what I can do with my lineup a little bit more with SGA.
Lippy says thoughts on Aaron Gordon, and my thoughts are I don't think the salary's right because we're still on a minutes limit here. We're still giving him 23 minutes. We're taking him along slowly, so I just wouldn't. I don't know if you guys disagree, but I would not play Aaron Gordon. They're just not going to push his minutes just yet. There's no reason to push him.
He was great in Uncle Drew.
That's the movie you saw, Uncle Drew, with Kyrie Irving and Shaq, right?
Yeah, Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller, yeah. Have you seen Blue Chips?
Is that with Shaq?
Yeah, and Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
All right, I got my list, and so first things first. If you haven't seen this and it has not been spoiled for you, the next thing you have to prioritize without a doubt is Fight Club.
Oh, I've seen Fight Club.
Okay, you've seen Fight Club. We're good then. That was just like one. If you hadn't got it spoiled, that would have to be the number one choice.
What's a general, like, you want to give us a certain type? Like, you want action? You want comedy?
Well, I got categories, Dean. I got categories.
All right, fair. We got time. Then go ahead.
I'm going to be watching with the significant other, so something that she'll like as well.
Okay, that's important to know.
If you're looking to lock in watch a good quality film. Maybe it's a little long, maybe you got to think, but it's art. It's good. You're looking at Magnolia or you're looking at Boogie Nights.
No, don't give him Magnolia. He's not going to like it.
No,
Shut up.
I love Magnolia. He's not going to like Magnolia. I would bet $1,000 that he.
I don't care. That's why I gave 6 movies to choose from, Dean. It's one of 6 with different genres. Get out of here. You got your time.
I love Magnolia. He is not going to like Magnolia.
We got to start with something that we know I'm going to like. Or else
the segment's just
going to end after one movie.
You're looking to have some fun, have a good movie that's just like low stakes.
Yeah.
You're looking for Dazed and Confused. You're just looking to have yourself a good time.
If not on board.
If you're looking to get a little wild with some action, you're looking at Heat or you're looking at The Matrix.
Heat's incredible.
I've seen The Matrix. Okay, a lot of people have recommended Heat in the chat, so maybe I'll start with that one.
They're also making a sequel. Leonardo DiCaprio, I believe, was involved. You probably know this, TJ. Who else is going to be in the new Heat? Have you seen the cast just yet, or it's still kind of getting pieced together?
If I'm not allowed to talk when I want to, Dean, why should I talk when you want to?
What? What do you mean? You're allowed to. At what point did I give the impression you're not allowed to talk?
If you're going to interrupt me while I'm talking, what is my motivation to answer any of your questions?
Oh, you didn't finish your Magnolia thought? I apologize. At the end of your Magnolia thought, I would say, great movie. It's not an easy movie to recommend. It's not like for everybody.
Which is why it was prefaced with, if you're looking for a 3-hour movie and you want to really lock in.
He doesn't want to lock in. He just told me he's got 15
That's why
minutes.
it had it. That's why it had conditions.
He's got no time to lock in.
I got like 30 minutes a night to lock in.
Then you should go Dazed and Confused.
Okay, I'll do that in Heat. I'll report back in a month when I finish them.
Ramazan's list, by the way, Point Break, excellent. The original. Ghost is probably good with the with the lady friend. Scream. Have you seen Scream?
Yeah, I've seen all the Screams.
Okay. Fight Club, Heat, Truman Show is incredible. Out of Sight, George Clooney, Jennifer Lopez. Empire Records, that's more of a date movie. Big Lebowski, I love it, but TJ, you a Big Lebowski guy? Will you answer my question, TJ, or no?
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
Roadhouse is a crowd pleaser, but I don't know if that's
the difference between you and I, Dean.
Yes,
is that I respect Noto's ability to think critically, and so I'm going to give him, if you're in this mood, watch this movie, and I trust him to select the one that fits his mood.
Okay, well, I kind of figured out that Noto was not going to be on board to like for the art house movie. Fargo's a good one being thrown out in chat as well. It's another solid.
Isn't that a
movie.
show?
It is a show. It's kind of in that world, but not really. But just see the movie. Okay. You can see that each season's different too. You can just watch a show and the show's good. Some seasons better than others, but the movie is spectacular. It's a quick watch. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes. But there you go. So Noto, I don't know. I've not seen the schedule, but next time we're together, post lock, we'll be able to we'll talk about whatever movie you saw, whatever movie you figured out. Rounders being thrown out in the chat. That's a spectacular movie. Blow. It's a good movie as well. But Doctor Strangelove. Don't give Noto and don't give anybody Doctor Strangelove officially. I don't think that's it's too much. But TJ, what's the best movie you've seen recently, TJ?
I have really not been watching any movies recently. I am going to try and go on a little binge this week and watch as many of the Best Picture nominations that I haven't watched yet. So I want to watch Train Dreams, Sentimental Value. There's a couple others on there that I hadn't seen. So I'm going to try and make my way through that. But I do want to answer NBA question quick from Beaner. Jamal Murray, Mathurin, and Wolf, or Jalen Williams, George, and Santos. I think that second side looks pretty significantly better. The Jalen Williams, George, and Santos side. I like Murray. I think Murray's interesting for tournaments, but I don't like Mathurin. I haven't watched much movies lately because I've been just so locked into television. I watched all of Game of Thrones, all of A Night of Seven Kingdoms, all of House of the Dragon.
Jeez.
I am now on season 2 of Industry just in the past couple days. I still have to watch my screeners for Invincible season 4 because we're going to be doing a show for that for Agents of Fandom. Same with Paradise, keeping up with that because we're doing a show for Agents of Fandom. So I've been watching a ton of TV, but I have not been watching as many movies recently.
Are you up on Paradise? No, I know it's a show you were into.
Not on the new season, but I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm a few episodes behind as well. Best movie I've seen, by the way, recently, Song Sung Blue. Freaking love that movie. I thought it was spectacular. Maybe it helped if you're a Neil Diamond fan. It probably would help as well. But I like Neil Diamond for what that's
I can
worth.
pretty much guarantee if you ask me 10 days from now, because I just finished the book on Friday, the answer will be Project Hail Mary. I am so wildly excited for that movie.
Great book.
Is that Ryan Gosling?
Yeah. I know a bunch of people who have seen it already, and I haven't heard anybody give it anything less than a 10. And I just finished the book on Friday, and it's just like, wow.
So good.
You guys both read the book. I feel lost. I'm not even aware of it, so I'm out of the loop on that one. I will probably see the movie, I presume. Troy wants to know, TJ, asking you specifically, Pulp Fiction or Heat? No wrong answer.
Oh, sorry, for me. I enjoy Heat more, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the better movie. I would say, like, because of what Pulp Fiction did to the genre and how it kind of revolutionized the way people make movies, I would probably rank that higher as a critic, but I enjoyed Heat quite a bit more.
Troy wants to know a link. He wants a link to your content if you're allowed to share it. We're not allowed to talk about Agents of Fandom here, right, TJ? We can't talk about it?
Talk about it all we want because it is not in competition with us whatsoever. Yeah, I'm about to drop a link right now.
All right. Anything else before we step aside and get out here or make way for nothing? Make way for basketball. I was going to say make way for crunch time. This is crunch time. Yeah. I'm always used to throwing it to somebody, but yeah, we're throwing it to nobody. We're throwing it to getting out of here and grabbing some dinner or something like that. But no, you got anything else before we hit the road?
Nah, Players Championship week, though. So big week for golf.
Tomorrow night, yourself in cards, I presume? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any bets up just yet or not just yet on SAO?
Not yet.
They're
Probably
incoming?
morning. Yeah.
I saw people in chat wondering if you were playing Rory or not.
Dude, just ruined me. He withdrew after being in the top 10 after the cut and hurt his back Saturday night or Friday night. I don't know.
So does that mean he's out or we don't know if he's out just yet? That was a legit injury, right?
He was out last week when I had him, but we don't know.
Yeah.
He's probably going to play this week.
I had him in my one and done, Noto.
Oh.
That's a killer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What are you going to do? But yeah, check back tomorrow night, Noto and cards breaking down the golf. Go to Scores and Odds to get his golf picks as well. That was Notorious. That was Notorious. I don't know why I say his name twice. That was TJ Zwarich, one of the greatest DFS players in all of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, who also will talk movies and TV shows with you at Agents of Fandom. And shout out to producer Steve as well. Hit that like button on your way out. I was Dean. We're out of here. Oh,